Welcome to Music Causation episode 3, and we have a special guest today. But I'm your host Ron and my co-host Steve. How are you today?
Doing great, and so glad to be here.
Yes, we got another exciting guest. This is going to be fantastic. You know, when we've done the first couple of episodes already, lots of views, and I thank everybody for watching. So look, this is another part of music history right here. And the first history lesson, Steve? Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, Buddy is a Rhode Island Music Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
inductee.
Yeah. So look, Buddy Cavaleri is here with us. He will be live, play some music for you, talk about, all of his
escapades.
Yes, the escapades, and we're looking for these stories that you're going to be able to hear right here. So let's welcome Buddy with us right now. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Ron, for having me. Thank you, Steve, for having me
So
do
glad
this.
to have
It's I love it. I'm so glad you asked me to do this. Thank you so much.
We are more than glad. You're actually the first Hall of Famer, I believe, on the show.
Ooh, the first of many, I hope.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
But for Rhode Island Broadcasting, you're the second Hall of Famer. We've had a guest in the Soccer Hall of Fame for Rhode Island.
The Soccer Hall of Fame?
Yes. But that's for the sports show.
Yeah, well, although I work for the Blackstone Valley Tourism Council, I'm totally integrated into this new soccer stadium coming
Yes.
in. Rhode Island Football Club. Couldn't be happier about this new MBTA station we have in Pawtucket. The economic development aspect of that is huge.
Right.
And I've been a hunger advocate. Buddy's been one of my longest, one of 52 Hunger Network members. We can get into that a little bit later.
And that's why we're here, really.
We're here for the
This
cause.
is
That's
why this show was created, is for that reason. So, if you want to sponsor the show, all the proceeds will go towards that. I don't get a penny, Steve doesn't get a penny, and Buddy doesn't get a penny.
Nothing?
Nothing.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, but that's what it does. So sponsors, all those businesses that are in, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and even beyond. Let's start helping. So really, if you want to sponsor the show, it's pretty simple. You just say, hey, you know what? I like the show. I like the direction you're going with it, and we want to sponsor it. And you just call us up or message us on RI Broadcasting at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com, and me and Steve will make it happen, and we'll make sure it all goes to a good cause, and it doesn't cost much. It basically costs whatever you want to put into it. So if you want to sponsor the show for $5, we'll take it because it goes to a good cause. So you name the price, and it happens. And it happens. And you can also send in bits. You can send in stars or stickers and all that stuff on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and really all that money will go to the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, and all the proceeds to that. So, but
Hi.
you've known Steve for a while now.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it. I think it's about between 1990 or 92. When did you start this whole thing, Steve?
The campaign started in 1988, where I had the idea. Basically, we're always trying to forge that link between music and the cause of ending hunger. And I grew up, looking at all of the big concerts, all dating all the way back to the George Harrison and Ravi Shankar concert for Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And in 1988, I decided, I'll probably never stage an event of that magnitude. And I thought, well, what can we do? Why don't we have something that's more ongoing, much more grassroots? So in 1988, my friend Dean, if you're out there, Dean, how are you? And I was describing the concept to him, donating in 1 week of the year to help end hunger. And he's like, I got a show coming up in 2 weeks. I'll donate from that show.
Yeah.
And that was the first gig in 1988. You came along very shortly thereafter, you and Chakula. We've all been on a very similar path ever since then.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's a wonderful path to be on for me. I mean, I'm honored to be part of it. Um,
Thank you.
a
I'm so
little
glad
bit
to
of
have you.
a little bit of my history on that is when I started doing it with Chakula in Wickford.
Yeah.
We called it the Harmony Army, and me and Chuck would go out and play in Updike Square, and we'd take out our guitars and a big barrel. Chuck would take a big barrel. At the time, Ryan's Market was there, and we'd just be playing and tell people what was going on, and they'd come out from the market and fill up the barrel with food or money, whatever, doing that. And I was doing it as to help out, never thinking I was going to need it. And I did it for years like that. And then there was one point through life circumstances
Mhm.
where a marriage came to an end and I was out on my own and, barely surviving. And all of a sudden, the North Kingstown Food Pantry, I needed them. And I needed them 3 times.
That's a beautiful thing to hear that you were able to.
Oh my gosh! I was the first time I was like crying that I had to go in there and ask if they could help me.
Wow, that's a great story.
And then after that, it was like a few months later, man, I was still struggling, and I had to go back, and they were like, all right, and then I had one of my CDs came out, and I said, man, from now on, all the proceeds from one of these records that I've got is going to the food pantry. So whenever I'd sell it, I'd give them whatever I made.
I love that.
And then it just started snowballing from there. And then I kept doing it because I needed donating through church.
Literally the starving artist story.
Oh my
It is.
gosh!
And that's we've seen this so many times that it's similar stories. Might have different roads and different paths,
Yeah.
but they're similar stories.
Yeah,
And it's funny how it turns out to be why we do this.
yeah,
Just like because you had that path, now you're intertwined with it
Yeah.
for, how many years?
yeah. You say starving artist. You say a starving artist. However, it wasn't that I was starving. It was a gift that I was starving because it brought my own awareness to a different level. I've been
Wow.
given anyway, but
Yeah,
it brought my whole awareness to it.
that's a
And the whole thing is
powerful story.
awareness, man.
Yeah, sure.
The whole thing is awareness because when I was doing it, there were points for a long period of time. I would just put money in the food box at the back of my church to the food pantry. We'd have bins, and I was always throwing money in there or bringing whatever I could bring, even if it was a can of something, and bringing it to the church and stuff. Then all of a sudden, you come to this perspective of man, you need it, and it's humbling.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so humbling. But the North Kingstown Food Pantry, they call it the Little Red Schoolhouse.
Yes.
And they were wonderful to me, and now I can't do enough for them. And then besides North Kingstown, I've also done it for the Johnny Cake Center.
Mhm.
I've done it for St. Andrew's Lutheran Church with Al. And whatever I can get in on any of these benefits, as sometimes we call them, I'm in.
Yeah, that's a great point. I want to let everybody know that's watching this program. We'll have a link up here to donate to the Rhode Island Community Food Bank. Because that's pretty much my default mode, because it's the big statewide agency that takes care of all the affiliate food pantries in Rhode Island. But they are totally fine with everybody donating directly to the food pantries
Yeah.
out there. Because it all ends up helping. It all ends up going where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So instead of having to sometimes get food to the food pantry and then distribute it, bring it directly to your local food pantry.
Yeah.
Donate to your local.
And it's nice. You get to know the people that are doing a good thing.
Exactly. I love
And
that.
it's not really nice for everyone involved. And I don't know if every individual food pantry around does this, but in North Kingstown, I used to bring money quite a bit. And Steve, one of the guys that was helping run the place there, he told me, for every dollar that comes in, he goes, we got to deal with Dave's Marketplace or with Stop and Shop,
Yeah.
that they'll give us $3 worth of food. And it'd be like, so now, you put in $1, it's $3.
It's a similar
worth of
story with the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, and their percentage is $7.
Nice.
Because they have such enormous buying power.
Yeah.
and they're into it. They want to see hunger come to an end in Rhode Island. We're working to create what we call food secure communities. And I'll tell you, this action we're taking here today, and I want to thank Ron for making this possible. Thank Buddy for being here. You know, the music and the arts are very influential over society, and more importantly, the fans.
Yeah.
It's the fans of us, of our shows, of you, that are going to turn around and say, oh, wow, look what these folks are doing. What can I do? And it's just an upward.
You know, and something as simple as every single supermarket has barrels at the front of the store when you're checking out.
Yep.
So you buy an extra can of SpaghettiOs or something,
Yeah, exactly.
and you put it in that basket. And then every supermarket has it. The back of my church, St. Paul's in Wickford, we were great with the food pantry, but they've got bins there. Every church, every supermarket, this, you know, so it doesn't take anything when you're walking out of the supermarket to buy an extra box or two of something.
And now that the COVID extra SNAP benefits are coming to an end, you know, it was just kind of written into the law when they boosted it. It was approximately $90 per family. Now that's coming to an end.
Yep.
So these food pantries are going to be under even greater pressure.
Yeah.
So get out there and support your local food pantry.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. You know, it's, you talk about the can of SpaghettiOs, you know, which when I was a kid, that's what I loved. I could eat it every day.
It was
Now picture the smile on a face when you have a family and they get that can of SpaghettiOs that you purchased, and that little kid, their eyes will light up when they get that can of SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed on how much a can of SpaghettiOs can make a difference.
Yep.
It's that simple. It's
I
really that simple.
use that scenario with my students. I do some gigs at Java Madness, a coffee shop down in Wakefield, South Kingstown.
Yep.
Right down there on Salt Pond Road. And whenever I do Java, which is maybe 4 or 5 times a year, I bring my students out with me, whatever students want to show up,
Right.
and I let them know, listen, we're doing this for the food pantry. So any donations we get going to the food pantry, so you're playing music and it's fun, but there's another reason that
I
you're
love
playing
that.
it.
That's
And these
fantastic.
little kids, all of a sudden, now they got an awareness, and they could be little kids or teens, whatever, or adult students that come up. It raises their awareness and stuff. And the next thing you know, they're showing up to the gig to play with me, and they're bringing bags of food.
I love that.
You know, they're
It's
bringing
fantastic.
bags of food.
And Mark LaHood from Java Madness, the owner, he's always
on
whenever there's a food benefit, he always kicks in 10%
Mark
of
is
the
wonderful.
proceeds from his food sales.
Yeah.
See, so
So-
support Java Madness.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Oh yeah, Mark is great to the arts and
amazing
to
person.
causes.
He's a musician himself.
Yeah.
He's a 1 of 52 member. So
Yep.
as it goes around, man.
Hey, maybe that's somebody we can get on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to have Mark in. That'd be a
See?
beautiful thing.
Mark?
Call us.
So yeah.
If he sees this, he'll call me tonight. He'll probably call you too.
Probably bring
It's
Alan
like I
along.
joke around about this. You know, I'm like the ultimate goofball on Rhode Island broadcasting, but it is a serious thing, and we try to have fun with it, but we really need the people out there. That's what matters. The people that are watching this, and you don't have to be in Rhode Island to help. You don't have to be in Rhode Island because there are food pantries everywhere. All across the country, you can just go to one of them and donate there. And if you do, send us a message, drop the comments, let us know everything, that has to pertain to this. So if you're in, say, San Francisco, there are people that are hungry in San Francisco, and so go and help them out. Let us know, so that way you can get, some recognition, and that way, we thank you, because it's not just in this area,
Right.
it's everywhere.
You know what? And the ripple effect is what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
The ripple effect is enormous, man.
Right.
For every one person that does that and say, "Oh, I dropped off something at the food pantry," somebody else, they
Yeah,
think about it, and they drop it
absolutely.
off.
Right.
And
And we have people that watch from all over the world. We've had people that have watched the show that came in from Philippines, from from all over the place. We have people from Sao Paulo
Yeah,
that watch the show.
yeah.
So there are people everywhere. We want you to throw those comments, where you're from, and where you can go to those areas for help, and we'll announce those places as you drop those comments, because you can do it right now and be part of the show. So, and I know there's somebody watching out there right
Yes.
now, and even after the show ends and you see the video, just drop the comments. We get them and monitor all those comments, and we make those people known in whatever places. So
And if you want to become part of the 1 of 52 Hunger Network, you can become a member. We started it in Rhode Island in 1988, but we're up and running in several states now. My goal is sometime in my lifetime or beyond, we're going to have a minimum of 52 artists in, people from all walks of life using their talent to help become 1 of 52 members. It's a simple concept. There's 52 weeks of the year. All we ask is that you use your talents to take a minimum of one action in 1 week annually. So we're up and running in other states, anywhere in the world. You can kind of gravitate toward this concept and become a 1 of 52 member wherever you are.
yeah, drop a comment, like I said, and let us know if you want to be on the show. We'll bring you on, and we'll talk about everything, and Steve can do his thing and get you involved.
Yeah, and you notice that when you say we would like each artist to donate one event a year. Do you notice that when you get the artist to do it, it's not only one event a year.
Well,
it's lots of events.
Yes.
It's funny. When I describe this concept to people, they either get it immediately,
Yeah.
or they say, that's a little too much commitment for me. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
I swear to God, I've had quite a few. But that's okay. It's all good. Because I know in my heart there are at least 52 in every state that will say, yes, I get this. Count me in.
Yeah.
There's no fees or dues. Let me look right in the camera. Costs you nothing to join.
Yeah,
All we look for is that one action, minimum
Absolutely.
one action.
Positivity is guaranteed.
so
That's for sure.
like Corey,
Nothing bad
I
can
know
come
you're
out of
out
that.
there, Corey. You know who you are. You gotta get
You're
in touch
addressing
with
somebody
me.
directly?
Oh,
I love
yeah.
it.
I want you on, guys. Super talented. You might actually know Corey Sylvia.
The
Or
name
Silva,
sounds familiar.
Corey Silva.
The
He
name
played
sounds
in like the
familiar.
Portals, and he plays, in other bands.
I don't know him, but I think
but,
we will get to know him now.
but I'll tell you, he's super talented. He's an excellent creator.
Beautiful.
So
We are
I'd like to
welcome.
have him come on and be part of all of this. So, because I still remember the day you came in and approached me. I was like, before you even got all the words out, I was like, okay, I'm
Come
in.
in.
I'm in.
I love it. And that's one of the missing components for our concept. We've been doing it for 30 years, but we need much more exposure. So I'm so grateful to Ron for helping us put this out here. Please make it go viral. Please share this episode if you're watching. And speaking of talent, why don't we go right to
Yes, we
having
need
our
to.
buddy, our
It's
friend Buddy playing a song for
Yes, it's been killing me and wanting to hear the music. Now I know you just brought in some Same Train new tracks.
One of my CDs
One of
here
your
is the
CDs.
Same Train New Tracks.
Now, do we have
And
an
I've
extra
got
one?
another CD that I brought in there for you too. It's called The
So
Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of.
So can we give away?
Of course.
Okay, so look,
Of course, yes.
you throw some comments, in the comment section, and after 2 weeks, we'll give it 2 weeks. Then I'm going to give away one of the CDs.
I
one of
got
the
some in the
lucky
car, man.
bands.
I'll bring in a little handful for you.
So-
No worries.
Great. Multiple winners.
So there you go. So, buddy, what are you going to play for us first?
Well, Steve said to me, pick a couple of originals. If you're going to do something, a cover, make sure it's public domain. And I thought about that, and I said, well, chance to play all my originals is few and far between. So this is a song I wrote with a fella down in Nashville. His name is Jeff Middleton. And, I won't be drowning my sorrows with bourbon, whiskey, or wine. If I can just hold on till tomorrow, things should be clear in my mind. And I'll slowly sift through these ashes. Two hearts took a wrong turn. You think I would learn? Just keep getting burned. Tell myself time after time. When the smoke clears, I'll be just fine. I've never been treated so cold. It seems like you don't really care. But I can't blame you. The fault it's my own. I was thinking the fire would always be there. And I'll slowly sift through these ashes. Two hearts that took a wrong turn. You think I would learn? I just keep getting burned. So I tell myself time after time, when the smoke clears, I'll be just fine. A love that's gone wrong is taking its toll. But I know another I'll find. Just one little spark that's gone out of control. When the smoke clears, I'll be just fine. And I'll slowly sift through these ashes. Two hearts took a wrong turn. You think I would learn? I just keep getting burned. I tell myself time after time, when the smoke clears, I'll be just fine. When the smoke clears, I'll be just fine.
That was fantastic. Wow. Wow, that was really, really good.
There's nothing
I
like the sound
feel
of
like-
a Martin.
Yeah, you know,
Nothing
I,
like the sound of a Martin, that's right.
Oh my
I
God.
feel
This,
like I
this
missed
one's
that.
name is Dean. This is Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. I love it.
I feel like I missed out all of these years listening. Not because I'm, perfectly honest, I haven't heard him before until you mentioned his name. That I started doing the research on him and got to listen to the music. But it's nothing like listening to it live. There's
Yeah.
really nothing.
Thank you.
There's nothing.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you're getting a treat here, a Rhode Island Music Hall of Famer. I love the ring of that. And you
That's
get to-
through,
get
just
to
so you
listen.
know, that's through my affiliation playing with Steve Smith and the Nakeds, which is the reason I moved to Rhode Island in the first place.
Oh, no kidding. I
was
didn't
yeah, I
realize
was
that.
living up in Boston and looking for a gig. I just moved back to Boston from Florida, and a friend of mine says there's a gig happening down in Rhode Island. It's a road gig. I said I'll take it. I went and auditioned for the boys, and they're like family to me now. I love the Nakeds. I love the band. They're like brothers to me.
Steve's a fellow 152
Yep.
member. And, the connection with me with the Rhode Island Music Hall of Fame is it originated at the Blackstone Valley Tourism
Yeah.
Council. And I love that fact that it's literally in a hall and it's right down the road over here.
Yeah, it's right
at
down the
Copart
street.
East Village, at adjacent to the Met Cafe.
Yeah, it's very cool. So the people that haven't been there, go there. It's right in Pawtucket. Go into the Hall of Fame and check it out. It's interesting. It's fun, and it's nice to see. Rhode Island has a great music community.
It really does.
I lived in Boston. It was dog eat dog, as they say. Down here in Rhode Island, the musicians, the bands, we support each other. We're all sitting in with each other or supporting each other. And a lot of the bands that I know, man, they're part of this one of 52.
And speaking of Steve Smith and the Nakeds and his cousin, John Cafferty, he has a
They're
track.
cousins?
Yeah, he has a track on our
Wow.
Timers Now to End Hunger Benefit CD, which came out in the year 2000. And we're re-releasing it now on the web. You go to the 1 of 52 Hunger Benefit, search on Facebook, and you'll come right to it. And all the tracks are there.
What did the Nakeds contribute to that?
I'm sorry,
Beaver Brown.
It was Beaver Brown that has a song on here. It's a song. It's a song called Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
And it's a socially conscious song about just the workaday guy trying to make his way in life. And it's a very rare track with a kind of a stripped down, unplugged track with him and Gary.
I love those guys, man. I love
Yeah.
that band. I mean, because of the Nakeds, that's how I got to meet Beaver
Of
Brown. When I
course.
was on gigs together, or and being cousins, those guys. I love those guys. It's a great band, and I couldn't be happier for those guys.
We're all part of the same family now,
Yeah.
all tied together with the 152 Hunger Network.
You're a lucky guy, Steve, to know all these people.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. People have told me it's time to cash in on all this karma, and we are getting to that point now, especially with Ron's help here, creating some mass media for us out there. Hopefully, these shows will be going viral, and a lot more people will be learning about us, and a lot more people will be joining the network.
So before we went on, you had mentioned you play for a church.
I do. I play. A lot of my life is based down in South County, and I play every Saturday. I lead the worship. Every Saturday evening, there's a 5:00 service at St. Paul's Church, St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Wickford. It's a Christian church, none of the guilt. The Episcopal.
None of the guilt.
None of the guilt, man. We're all happy and we love everybody.
That's great.
And I do their what I used to call it folk masses on Saturday evenings at 5:00. I'd go and lead the congregation in the service, and I've been doing that for decades. And it stopped about COVID.
Yeah.
COVID immediately stopped, and all of a sudden the church wasn't doing this Saturday service. Nobody was singing. Nothing was going on. They called me back recently and, said, listen, we're starting it back up and we'd love to have you do it. And I was like, back in the saddle, man. I
Great.
love it. And, that's my main gig these days is every Saturday I'm playing at church.
Yeah.
Playing for the right reason.
Yeah, hopefully
Okay.
we'll get a few more attendees now that they know you're going to be playing.
Now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Outside of the church, that doesn't count. You can't count that one.
Yeah.
Where is your favorite place that you have played?
Oh, I got a lot of favorite
I know
places.
that. That's why I'm
man.
putting you on the spot.
I got a lot of favorite places, man. I've been on the road all my
You
life.
mentioned Java. Java's going to be right
Well,
up
Java, man, this is, of course, the best coffee house in the world.
there.
Right on the marina there. I love that gig. And so these days I'm doing that every now and then. Due to health issues, I'm not out playing bars as much anymore. If something comes up, I grab it. However, these days I'm happy. I'm teaching, and I'm I got a lot of favorite places. I mean, I've got a lot of favorite places. I played with
You're actually busking out on the street.
Oh, man.
outside of
When
the
COVID
studios.
when COVID first hit, and it was still wintertime when it first hit, I went over to Belmont.
Yes, I remember that.
Belmont. What is it called?
Belmont Market.
Belmont Market
Right in
in
Wakefield.
Wakefield. And I said, man, can I sit outside and play music for the food pantry? And they said, okay. So now I'm out there. They had like a tent for the lines of people that were lining up to go in and
I
get
remember.
food. There was lines of people, and I sat in that line, and I played through the rain. I played through the snow and sleet on sunny days. And COVID hit, and this was even before the masks were mandatory. And so I'm out there from that during the course, and then all of a sudden it morphed into masks and everything else. I met the best people. Here's COVID, and we think the world is coming to an end. And here's all these people that I'm meeting in line, and I'm talking to them about the food pantry. And they'd come and say, "Can I sing a hymn with you? Can I do this?" And they'd come
see,
out.
now that has to be the best one.
Let me tell you
That has to
something.
be the best one.
There was
That's a
like
beautiful
a
thing.
point where 2 times a week my car was filled up with groceries and money, and I'd go over to the food pantry, and oh my God, buddy, thank you, you know, and you know, it was amazing. But you know, I did that until the owner of Belmont decided this kid could be a liability if he comes down with COVID. So they asked me, so I did it for about 3 months, almost every day.
Wow.
Because there was no work, there was no teaching, there was no playing out in bars or anywhere. I went out there whenever I wanted, and the lines were always long, right outside of the because they were only letting us a few people in at a time into the market.
Right.
I'd sit there and chit chat with people, and
This is the 1 of 52 Hunger Network in action over here, folks.
well, you know that's what it's
Like I
about.
say, we only ask for a minimum of 1 action 1 week annually.
That gig
Folks-
lasted 3 months,
folks
man.
like- Folks
That
like
one
yourselves
was
and Chakula, you're out there practically every week doing something, and I so love it. So
you know,
appreciate it.
it's good. It's a good thing to do. Nothing, you're guaranteed that nothing bad can come out of that. Nothing but good can come out of that.
Exactly.
You know, nothing bad can happen by helping people and doing stuff like that. This just happens to be the path I'm taking, you know, the path you're taking as far as food. But I mean, there's issues, there's homelessness, there's a lot of things going on in the world that everybody needs to get behind their charity or whatever. And for me, I just see results with it.
We certainly pay attention to the homeless issue, and we have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in that direction. My feeling is hunger shouldn't even exist in America. So let's get to that point. If we can get to the point where we look around and say, hey, everybody got enough food? Everybody eating? Okay, great. What can we accomplish from there? What else can we tackle?
Yeah.
But simultaneously, we're certainly paying attention to the homeless issue as we go along. And not everybody wants to be housed, but everybody wants to eat.
Right.
So if we can get everybody fed, that's going to take us from that position of power, an incredibly powerful position of creating food security when nobody has to go without food. We can move on to other issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting back to that point, in America, hunger just shouldn't exist. And we've talked about it before. Some of our 1 of 52 members really focus on rescuing food and food waste. And we waste 40% of the food in this country.
Isn't that ridiculous?
It's totally ridiculous. And if we even just got that one aspect under control, we'd be well on our way to food security. If
Or
people-
even a
people-
percentage of that.
Yes.
You
People
know-
say to me, how can you end hunger when food costs money? It's not about money. It's about attitudes. It's about, like you said, it's about awareness.
It's awareness. Everything in life is about
If
awareness.
we can get people to be aware that 40% of the food
Yeah.
in this country is wasted, and it's not just on your plate at home, even though that's a part of it, and everybody's got to compost to make sure we're putting the food into the compost so better food can be grown. But it's about industrial waste, and it's about corporate waste, and you know, even supermarkets where the food basically comes from in our society have to get waste under control. And there's a lot of great programs. Visit our page, 1 of 52 Hunger Network community page, and you'll learn much more about all the actions that are being
Yeah, because when
taken
you
out
think
there.
about the supermarket aspect of it, you know, it's like there's a shelf life for it. And when you're coming around to that end of that shelf life, why not just give it away? It's a write-off for those companies.
Interesting point. There's actually a new app out there. I know there's an app for everything that you can sign up for, and it alerts you when supermarkets have food that's getting close to the expiration date. I know Stop and Shop is participating in this, and I'm sure many more will come on board. And that's great because they're going to discount that food and they're going to get it out into the community rather than having it go into waste. And I think we might have talked on one of our previous shows, Ron. You know, everybody thinks there's this big liability issue about giving food away, but our buddy Bill Clinton solved that, and he signed into law while he was president the Good Samaritan law, which basically in a nutshell states that if you're giving food away with good conscience and with good intent, you can't be held liable for what may happen as a result of that. So don't worry about it. Go out there and lovingly collect the food, give it away. Go to the supermarkets, make sure they're doing the right thing, get them signed up for this software program. Every little bit helps. And these are all actions that you as an individual can take, and you can join our 152 Hunger Network by taking these actions on your own.
Yeah, so don't be upset about getting the bottom of the muffin,
Yeah, exactly right.
right?
Hey man, I'm no stranger to day-old bread. I'm
Yeah,
no
you know,
stranger to that. If I can get a loaf for 50 cents instead of $3.50, I'm in.
Yeah, because you can just toast it.
Yeah, there you go.
Just toast it.
And here's an idea that I have. I hope to proliferate in the supermarkets, rather than just having all the old produce sitting on a filthy rack in the back of the store.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up to the center of the store, have a kiosk, maybe with video and literature, and educate people on how to use this food, especially to make soups and stews. And I think we can, right there at that point of purchase, you can sell the base for making the soups and stews. And this gets back to the stone soup story,
Yeah.
which Pete Seeger talks about on our CD. You
Yeah.
can go to our website and view listen to the songs there. The song that Pete Seeger wrote about that for his wife Toshi about the stone soup theory.
Yeah.
And that's another way to get people educated, create awareness, and keep food out of the landfill chain.
All right, before we go to another fantastic song, my buddy, please donate stars, bits, whatever you can, and all the proceeds will go to the Rhode Island Community Food Bank. Every penny. So when you do a bit, which is equal to 1 penny, we'll take it. We'll take it because that penny will make it to the Rhode Island.
What does
Community
a
Food
star
Bank.
mean if they donate
A
stars?
star is the same thing. So it takes 100 stars to make $1.
Yeah.
And same thing with bits. So
I'm just learning about all this stuff too.
Yeah,
If you go on YouTube, you see the
Every
side
penny.
column over there.
yeah. Every penny will go to it, guaranteed.
And we also have a link. You can donate directly to the Rhode
Absolutely.
Island Community Food Bank. Should be scrolling across
Absolutely.
the bottom of the page there.
So, in case you did not know, you were watching Music Causation. This is episode 3 with Buddy Cavaleri. Please subscribe, follow, share. Sharing is so important because that gets this video out to everyone. Okay, so if you're on Twitch, you can watch us on RI_broadcasting. If you're on Twitter, then it could be Broadcasting RI. And Facebook and YouTube is at Rhode Island Broadcasting. I mean, when we look at the numbers that we're getting, it is fantastic. It's already one of the top shows on Rhode Island
Fantastic.
Broadcasting. So, so there's that. We have actually currently 322 followers on Twitter. So get on that. We're trying to get to 400 by the end of the month.
Oh, we can double that by the end of today.
Hopefully. On YouTube, we have 1,124. So we've
Nice.
gone up since the last time we aired a program on Rhode Island Broadcasting. So we're trying to get to 2,000. You can also listen to the shows on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Red Circle, TuneIn. So many that I can't even name them all.
And they're all archived. So you
Yes,
can go
and
back
so
and
you
watch
can just
previous
go
shows.
and watch them over and over and over, and then you can also donate over and over and over if
There
you
you
want
go.
to. If you want to. So, buddy,
Yes.
now you had mentioned you played with Steve Smith and the Nakeds, not counting them. And I know this is putting you on the spot again. Who is one of your favorite artists that you've played with throughout the years?
Well, I've been blessed. Because of the Nakeds, I was a guitar player for Clarence Clemens, the big man.
Oh my!
You know, when Clarence wasn't on tour,
Oh,
up until his death. And when he wasn't on tour with Bruce,
so good.
you know, on the East Coast, he'd hire the Nakeds, and we were the road band with Clarence. It's wonderful to have done that. We've done that with Gary U.S. Bonds.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's so much fun. We've done a lot of things. And then other bands I've been with where, I've been the opening act for Charlie Daniels, Emmylou Harris, I've been the opening act for Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams Jr.
Wow. We're in the presence of great
you know,
music.
Yes,
I
no
just,
kidding.
I've been
stunned.
blessed where things would fall into my lap because I can read music and make it sound good. Where I'd get the call a lot, and and so I've been on. Like I said, there was a point in the mid '90s where the country music thing was happening, and people were line dancing and all that stuff. I happened to be playing in an original and pop country band. And so we'd go on the road. All of a sudden, we'd be doing a lot of big state fairs. Ricky Skaggs was on the gigs.
Cool.
There's so many people that, the list goes on and on. Like I said, I've been blessed to play a lot of places and with a lot of people. And I love every one of them, even the miserable so-and-sos. I'm an autographed hound, so if I'd work with Ricky Skaggs, and I worked with Ricky a few times, one time again, I have a guitar that I get them to sign. So I've got an old Fender Telecaster with signatures all over it.
Oh, wow.
And I was working with Waylon Jennings and said, Waylon, man, can I get you to sign this? And he just had carpal tunnel operation. So he had Velcro casts on. He said, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I said, Waylon, here's a Sharpie. Here's my guitar. Draw a line across my guitar. I'll know it was you. I can't do it. So that week was going on and we're touring, and his son, he had a son who was, 9 or 10 years old at the time. Now he's a country star himself. And I'd be hanging with his son, this little kid, and say, sure would be great if you could get my guitar into your dad to get him to sign it. So the kid goes and talks to Waylon in the bus, and he comes back up to me. He says, buddy, my dad said he can't do it, and stop asking.
That's such a great story.
Yeah, so
It's such a great story.
but he was a miserable so-and-so during the daytime gigs, and then the nighttime gigs, he'd have a little bit of the painkiller in him. So he was a little bit looser, but he wasn't the most pleasant guy, and yet I was thrilled beyond belief to be, his opening act.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
All right, so I'm sure the fans are clamoring for another song. What can
Another
you play
song.
for us?
Well, I was thinking about it. I got so many songs to play. I was thinking about a song I wrote with a guy from Stuttgart, Arkansas. And I met him down in Nashville also, where I'm down there quite a bit, writing with friends. And Lee, I forget Lee's name. I was trying to think of it all day. But I wrote this tune with Lee. And when he came into our publishing house, which is Al Jolson Music, is my publisher, they said, listen, we got a new writer coming in, man. We want you to write with him. And we want you to write with him. See what you think. See if we can bring him into the stable. Okay, so I show up, and I've got 100 tunes just started. And I didn't want to bring something I already started to an unknown writer. So I said, Lee, here's what we're going to do. We took the phone book. We opened up the phone book. And we opened it up. It said taverns. And it listed all the taverns. I said, taverns. Okay, let's open the phone book again. We opened it again, and it said churches. It said taverns, churches. The night was over. The song was written. It was, and Lee says to me, if there's a guy in this song, we were writing in a room, like this, in one of the writers' rooms, and there was a box of stationery called Avery. The Avery stationery.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Lee says, if there's a guy in the song, let's name him Avery. I said, okay. So, that's where this tune came from. Churches, taverns, but that's how it started. And see what happens here. He used to sing in taverns, now he sings in church. Sleep all day, up all night, now he goes to work. Had to change his life, do the best he can. If you want to keep the wife and kids, you gotta be a better man. But every now and then, he gets the itch again. He fires up them blue suede shoes. There ain't nothing wrong, he loves his gospel songs, but Avery likes to sing always on time. Family in their Sunday best, he got a suit and tie. He sings Amazing Grace and how he saw the light. The Lord's got a soul, but he loves the Memphis Nights. Every now and then he gets the itch again. He fires up them blue suede shoes. There ain't nothing wrong, he loves his gospel songs. But he likes to sing the blues. He likes to sing the blues. He sure got the rhythm, and he loves his blues. When Sunday comes around, he's in the front row pew. Every now and then, he gets the itch again, just to fire up them blue suede shoes. Ain't nothing wrong, he loved them gospel songs, but Avery likes to sing the blues. Avery likes to sing the blues, yeah, yeah, Avery likes to sing the blues. Yes, he used to sing in taverns, and now he sings in church. Sleep all day, up all night, while he goes to work. Gotta change his life and be the best he can. If you wanna keep the wife and kids, you gotta be a better man. Every now and then he gets that itch again. He fires up that blue suede shoes. There ain't nothing wrong. He loves his gospel songs. He likes to sing the blues. Yes, he likes to sing the blues. Yeah, yeah. He likes to sing the blues.
That was nice.
Love it.
That was nice. And the story behind it is fantastic as well. I mean, this is what we all like to hear as music fans. You know, we like those stories about the songs that people create and
For sure.
how it happens, and you know, there's history
Through the Yellow
there.
Pages, back when there was Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there still is
I
Yellow
think there
Pages.
still is.
But we opened the book. I said, I don't want to give up one of my songs to this guy I don't know. And okay, churches and taverns, and then, you know, sometimes stuff like that just falls in your lap, and song wrote itself pretty quickly.
That's awesome. Hopefully we'll be able to squeeze one more song in by our guest, by Cavaleri here.
Yeah,
And I want to let you know that next Monday, we're going to have a very special 1 of 52 member going to be performing with us. Going to be virtual. We're going to make sure we can get her up and running. We're going to do a test, right?
Yep.
We're going to make sure she uses a PC, so we should be good.
We should be good.
Those darn Macs have been screwing with us lately. But Ronnie Stolzberg, and she's an acclaimed artist. This week, she was at the Arizona Live Music.
Oh, Ronnie,
corporate
good.
featured artist. She's
Ronnie's a good
fellow-
friend of mine. I
fellow
love
152
Ronnie's.
member.
Yeah,
She's going to be
nice.
on with us next week.
Awesome.
And she's just coming back from Arizona. Arizona, the live music cooperative artist. She was featured at their festival out there.
Nice.
Yep.
She's been a singer-songwriter, and every month they do a songwriters circle the first Friday of every month down in Edgewood.
Uh-huh.
And she made it a 1 of 52 gig. And, you know, small audience, small group of people, but they collect food for every gig. So, gotta love it. And
Yes.
we'll talk about that when she's here next Monday. So, tune in next week for Ronnie, and it's going to be another great show with my host, Ron. Here we are, Music Causation, today with Buddy Cavaleri. And I got to tell him the story where the name came from, Ron. You were like, we were about to go live, and we were like, we got to have a name. So I started searching around, and I looked at a bunch of different names, and all these names I liked were taken. And I was like, music for the cause. This is all about the cause. And I looked up causation, and I said, you know, the definition of causation is cause and effect. So here we are, the cause and effect. If we do the right things, we're going to have the right effect. And music causation was the perfect name. Ron made a beautiful graphic for us. And here we are in our third show.
And here I was thinking it was, since I was a white guy, it was music Caucasian.
Almost.
Oh.
Not quite. Music causation.
And that's the thing, music,
Sad
you know,
trombone.
I love just about every style of music that is. And, so that makes it really easy for me to get into the music that we've had, so far. But I mean, I don't care what kind of music it is. If you have, if you're an opera singer and you want to come on, we'll put you on. Blues, R&B, whatever it is, if you want to get involved, just let us know and we can make it happen. I know Steve can, do all the legwork with the
We got a bunch of
152.
artists coming up. We got Eddie McGurl coming up for a show soon. Kind of an Irish thing, but he also has a song on the Time Is Now CD, which is an amazing song. We can talk about that when he's in.
How did I not get on that CD?
Well, we're
I must have been missing in action at that point.
Barely scratching
We'll
the
have to make
surface
another
for
one.
this one. We might have to make another one.
Yeah.
But we got to make this one successful for us. 20 years later, we're still working.
So where
on
can
it.
they find the CD?
They can. It's all available for free online, just like this show is. If you're so moved, you make a donation to your favorite food organization. We recommend the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, but you can donate to Second Harvest Feeding America. You can donate, like for instance, when Chakula is on, he has his Hunger Bus organization, which is a nonprofit. You can donate directly to the Hunger Bus, and that's the beauty of it. It's all third party. Not a dime of this is coming to any of us here. It's all about the cause. And you can go to the Facebook pages and search on the 152 Hunger Benefit, and you'll come right to it because it's a very unique name, 152 Hunger Network. And the reason for that, it's very unique because it's a very unique organization. So we own that, and it's a beautiful thing. We want you all to check it out and participate. And we have a lot of great guests coming up. And like I say, it's all for the cause.
Yes. Look, we want to make, every show purposeful. And to do that, it's just simply watching, sharing, donating if you have the money. If you don't have the money and you have time, donate your time.
Exactly.
Helping unload trucks or stocking shelves inside the pantries or whatever it may be. Donating time at a soup kitchen. Whatever it may be, that's what we need. We just need help at all levels.
We don't have to list them all. Simply go on Google, search food pantry near me or soup kitchen near me, and you'll come right to them. And believe me, they all need your help. So there's no lack of places to go out there to get help.
Okay, so if you're out there, you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, at Rhode Island Broadcasting. If you're on Twitch, it's RI_broadcasting, and Twitter, Broadcasting RI. Please follow us, pay attention to the show, and just enjoy the artists and all the other program that's on Rhode Island Broadcasting. I'm sure the influences that we're going to be having coming up are all going to be fantastic, including from episode 1, Bill Bartholomew, and of course, episode 2, Mark Rush, which I had such a difficult time when he was here. And of course, Papa Angelo, they were fantastic. But buddy, we're gonna get one more song out of you.
Great.
And then we'll talk a little bit, and then we'll end the show.
All right.
Okay, so have at it. Fans, you are blessed with a Hall of Famer here in Rhode Island. Buddy Cavaleri.
Another song with one of my co-writers, Michael Mason, from Nashville. Michael is an unbelievable singer and songwriter, and I'm blessed to call him one of my close friends over the years. We've written a ton of music together. But this is what we call some Sunday go-to-meeting music.
Cool.
Take me down to the river where I can drown all of my sins. And with this new day, I'll live forever. When my time on earth comes to an end, I will stand before my Maker with open arms, let me in. I will walk in streets gave my soul to him. I see my friends, mother and father, where one day will last 1,000 years. Ain't no pain, no trouble or sorrow, in the kingdom made of gold. That's where I'll live. I guess I will stand before my Maker, open arms, he'll let me in. I will walk the streets of heaven because I gave my soul to him. Let's go down to the river where we can drown on all of our sins. And with this new day, we'll live forever when our time on earth comes to an end. Yes, we will stand before our Maker with open arms, and he'll let us in. We will walk in streets of heaven because we gave our souls to him. Yes, we can walk in streets of heaven because we gave our souls to him.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sunday go to meeting music.
Yeah, no, it's very uplifting. Like,
Well, I could have come in and done some very dark stuff
well,
today,
yeah, you know, I mean,
but I chose not
well,
to.
you know, we got blessed with 3 great songs,
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
I'll tell you, you know, it's like I said before, I feel like I missed out all those years not hearing the music, and you know, as I
All that
get
matters is
older,
now, Ron. Now you're hearing it.
Now you're catching up.
as I get older, you know, I've expanded, you know, because like when I was younger, you know,
You have your favorites.
I had, you know, the favorite stuff. So I used to listen to like 92 and HKY and stuff like that, you know, and that's what you got programmed to do all those years. And then, you know, as I started getting out of my area and then into different areas, meeting different people, you know, you kind of get different songs influencing you. So then it was like country music, and then it was, you know, I worked with inner city kids, so I listened to some hip hop and stuff like that. And you know, and I know a lot of, you know, Hispanic people, so I started listening to,
Good.
you know, Latino music.
It's all music,
so
man.
It is all music, and
We only got
you know,
12
there's
notes.
one thing that has been a constant for me, what I like, and that is acoustic guitars and saxophones.
Ha.
For some reason, that's what I really, really like. And, you know, so I kind of like tend to gravitate towards that kind of a thing. And, you know, and there's nothing like somebody just sitting there playing a guitar and singing.
I'm glad we
There's
were
nothing
able to
like
make
it.
it
There's
possible
nothing
for
like
you,
it.
man.
So I've enjoyed these 3 episodes so much, listening to music that I haven't heard before. And I always am someone that will just type in a word, you know, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, whatever it is, and you play something you've never heard before. And I like doing that. And that is why I've enjoyed this so much. And I feel, you know, like I have goosebumps all the time because of that. So I love it, you know, and I hope you, the fans, love it too. You know, please throw the comments down there. You know, we're going to try to give away one of these. So throw some comments. So we're going to get some people some CDs of Buddy's music. And let me tell you, if you like those 3 songs, you're going to love this. You're going to love it.
And for updated news, visit my website, oneof52.net. The number 1, the word of 52.net. Very simple URL, very simple to participate, no fees or dues, all about taking action. That's why we're here today.
Steve, that's what makes you a Rhode Island hero, man.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, man. That's what makes you a hero. Is what you're doing. Be you, the guy behind it. you need somebody pushing the rest of us.
Yeah, I
Right.
tell
And
you,
I'm so grateful it's you, man.
thank you.
Because
And like I say, it's not about what I do, it's about what everybody else does. So as you're listening, if you want to participate, if you want to help us create food secure communities, we can do it. 1of52.net. Join us next Monday with Ronnie Stolzberg. And we'll be doing this every week for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
nice.
Thank you, Ron.
It would take a lot for it not to happen in some capacity. You know,
Buddy, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I mean, this means a lot to me, and I'm glad we're getting the word out, man. I'm so glad we're getting the word out.
so it is time for us to go. We've enjoyed Buddy being here, and now it's time to wrap up. You know, Steve, was another great show. I cannot wait to see the results of people sharing it and you know, really getting involved.
That's going to grow every week.
So let's do this. Let's share it, because believe it or not, that actually helps too. You know, because if there's any revenue to be made, you know, off of the channels, you know, we get ad revenue, we get all that stuff, and all of that goes towards the cause. We don't make anything here, you know, between me and Steve. It doesn't go to the channel. It doesn't go to anything but the food banks. So
It's magic how it happens.
Yeah.
it is.
amazing.
It is. So please, thank you, Buddy, again for being here. And you know, check out his music. You know, we've posted up the links throughout the show. And
All
don't
my
forget to check
Facebook
out what
friends,
he's been-
too. Get the
Yes.
Facebook friends to share this stuff with everyone.
Yes. So we will see you next time on Music Causation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ron.